So marketers are contending with an incredibly complex and fragmented media ecosystem. You've got consumers consuming across myriad channels, formats, devices. And the reality is that if you're going to be an engine for growth inside of your organization as a marketer, you need to know what the heck is going on with the dollars that you're placing. And so it's a big struggle for marketers right now to try and make sense of all of the complexity in terms of where their media dollars are being allocated and how those things are sort of working together to deliver performance. And this is bigger than measurement, because the thing is, we're not talking about a world anymore where you get a report at the end of the year. We're talking about a world where a marketer needs to be nimble and agile and dynamic. And so when we're thinking about something like holistic measurement, we need to think about it in the context of being an input, not just an output. So how do you use intelligent measurement then to be a part of your planning process, rather than just a PowerPoint that you get at the end of the year? So in speaking to marketers, it's really clear that this is a huge challenge for them and that it's enormously important to them. You've got several kinds of video that they're running now, from television to connected TV to online video. You've got social environments, you've got desktop and mobile environments. And so when they're thinking about measurement, again, it's really as an input to making smarter decisions with the allocation of their dollars toward things that are going to drive business growth. So thinking about things like, what is my overall frequency? What is my reach? These are important inputs into things like what is working and what is not, and how should I be allocating my money? But it's not, as simple as sort of a single kind of answer, like I just put it all into a multi-touch attribution system and I'm good. It's more complicated than that. And setting aside the fact that MTA is having, lots and lots of challenges with the deprecation of signal from cookies and mobile ad IDs and the like. So at Forrester, we talk a lot about the idea of unified measurement, which is the marriage of this kind of bottoms-up measurement that digital advertisers are sort of used to and grew up with more top-down measurement, think marketing mix modeling and the like, and using those two in concert to make good short and long-term business decisions.
So what are the elements? The panel will be one, but what are the elements of Nielsen One, and what will it look like?
Sure. So in terms of the inputs to measurement, it really will be a combination of big data assets combined with our panel. So if you think about the data acquisitions that Nielsen has announced over the last many months, it really is all about growing the coverage and granularity of that which we can measure. So we are ingesting, as an example, return path data from set-top boxes, ACR data from smart TVs covering about 100 million devices, as well as ingesting census level data from different services in the CTV space. But all of that data, by definition, wasn't built inherently for measurement. And really what we're able to do with the Nielsen panel is calibrate and adjust that data to correct for any biases, any inefficiencies, and also fill in the blanks for that which those big data sets can't naturally measure. So if you think about just a general, for instance, if I'm pulling in data from a set-top box, that can tell me a lot about the tuning that happens in that particular home using that device, but it wouldn't necessarily tell me anything about over-the-air viewing, which we know from our many years of measurement experience is a little bit of a different profile of a consumer. So the panel is there to help us calibrate and to really fill in the gaps to make sure that the overall measurement we produced, again, is unbiased and complete.
So in terms of the key signals, we have on the one hand, sort of these deterministic big data sets. So that includes set-top box data, as well as automated content recognition or ACR data from smart TVs, and also other connected devices. And then we also have an important requirement still around having a representative panel. And the reason why the panel remains critical is because we need the means to calibrate for national representativeness, as well as for calibration against key demographic variables. And that panel helps inform that calibration of those larger data sets. In addition, those larger data sets tend to capture data at the household or device level. And what we need, or what we can get from a panel level, data set is understanding the person level viewing. And so the combination of using that panel data with the larger data sets allows us to inform person level assignment, and with that, the ability to do co-viewing as well, to factor in co-viewing.
Yeah, we think a lot about cross-channel measurement and omni-channel measurement. And I think it's important to remember that when we plan media on behalf of our clients, we don't plan them in channel silos. We start with channel allocation, and we think about the role of each channel, and we plan across multiple screens because that's where media is being consumed. So when thinking about measuring that, in addition to measuring the delivery, we need to measure the impact. And so that can be complicated, and that doesn't mean we shouldn't do it or that we shouldn't try and work with partners to evolve that measurement, especially as we think about the cookies being deprecated very soon. So what does that mean? That means that I know I ran on linear television. I know I ran full episode players on connected television or over the top. And I'm also running programmatic video and display in addition to other digital channels. How are those different touch points working in concert to achieve our media objectives, whether that be sales or brand awareness, brand consideration?
I think it's about more than just kind of the primary base layers that we've talked about in the past: duration of exposure on screen, pixels on screen. And I think it has a lot more to do with understanding the level of engagement and attention that a viewer has with content. And again, I think we're at the very early stages of developing measurement solutions that help us really understand that and apply it into the media model.
I don't think we're going to see perfect in the next couple of years. And I think that's one of the flaws that we have as a marketplace right now. We're waiting for that perfect scenario to be measured in every single screen that we touch. Now, what Nielsen's doing and Nielsen 1 is really beneficial, but then you've also inherently got multiple other avenues that are being created, whether it's through the Amobis of the world, the video amps, you've got then the device players in Amazon and Roku and Google, and really thinking through the bifurcation of measurement makes this a little bit more challenging. So for us, we won't have perfect, but I think we need to come at this through the lens of what is the best option for this campaign and what am I trying to learn? So what I mean by that is, how do I create, and almost going back to sixth grade science, the scientific methodology? What is my hypothesis? How am I going to go about actually doing that? And then what is the output going to be? How am I going to measure it? And what am I hoping to learn? And when we take that approach, we won't create perfection, but we'll at least create this learning agenda and test and learn scenario to find the right balance as we move into the future, and hopeful in the next 2 to 3 years, creating a much more sort of perfect ecosystem. But I don't think we'll ever get to that perfect oasis again.